Jaron. Today I'm going to cover one of the things that I care most about, which is organization. I'm a little bit obsessive when it comes to the details of something, and a lot of times that takes the form of me very specifically writing things down and trying to get orderly about everything that I'm doing. But one of the things that I've discovered over the past couple of years is that sometimes organization can actually be a hindrance. It can prevent me from doing the things that I actually need to do. In some ways, organization becomes a form of procrastination. So the answer to the question in the title of this video, can you be too organized, is absolutely yes. But that said, it doesn't mean we should just get rid of organization altogether. It's still very valuable. We just have to figure out where that pendulum lands, right? On one side, we have too organized. We have stress-inducing organization, because now I have to maintain this level of organization as well as actually accomplish my tasks. And on the flip side, you have a complete lack of organization. You forget every single thing you have to do because you never even wrote it down. Our brains are fantastic processors, but they're terrible at making and keeping lists. I have to keep one task focused in my head because as soon as I add another one, the first one will disappear. And oftentimes that leads to me running around the house saying, what was I supposed to do? I know there was something I needed to do. I just can't remember. But I've also caught myself on the complete flip side where I have written down way too many things. I've said, I'm going to write down my morning routine. All right, brush teeth, make the bed, get some exercise. And I try and structure an entire day into rigid sequence steps that just do not hold together. And then what happens is I get disheartened because I didn't actually follow through this task that I had in mind, this process I had planned. So that's the pendulum. Too organized or not organized enough. Throughout my organizational journey, I've used a bunch of different tools, things like Wunderlist, Google Docs, Google Keep, Google Calendar. I've used a couple of different calendar apps as well. I've used things like Trello. Currently, I'm using something called Notion, and ultimately, every single one falls short in some way. And that's just the digital ones. Let's not forget pencil and paper, because that's very helpful as well. So what I've fundamentally arrived on is the conclusion that for every time in life, there is a different organizational strategy that will work. What I'm using right now will probably not be what I'm using 10 years in the future. And in some ways, that's a little disheartening because I like the system I have now, but I also recognize that it's not perfect, and it is frustrating when I look at something that I use regularly and I stare at the imperfections. So what do I do today? I've learned that I cannot survive just using digital tools. I applaud people that can, but ultimately sometimes I need to sketch an idea, or I need to write down a song lyric or a video idea, and these things are so scatterbrained and in different formats that they just never fit right into the same place. So today, my current organizational strategy looks something like using Google Calendar. I have a separate one for what I consider personal tasks and personal events. Then I have one that reminds me when I should be posting things for social media, a content calendar or something like that. I try and keep this pretty light of detailed written information. I will add something to, let's say, an event if I need to remember an address or something like that. Google Calendar isn't really the best place to store long-form information, and I can't doodle in there. The next thing that I use is actually a bullet journal. And I've heard a lot of things about these over time. I probably don't use it like other people do. For the most part, I keep everything very straightforward. It's simple writing, lines between days and sections, bullet lists of tasks that I need to accomplish throughout the day. This is a great way for me to plan ahead. So if I have something that I need to plan out over the course of a couple weeks, I can easily set goals and scatter them around different days. Now the problem is many separate ideas come in the form of a doodle, a sketch, or let's say song lyrics. Because I take music production very seriously and I'm trying to improve in my songwriting skills, I actually have a separate journal specifically for lyrics. Now these two journals paired are very nice, but I have one very specific rule that I've applied to them, which is I cannot draw in them. Because otherwise I get carried away and then it all is doodles and I have no writing. As a matter of fact, when I am going to doodle, I actually just use my iPad. And the reason I do that is because the app Procreate is a fantastic application in order to get an idea fleshed out in sketch form. It's easy to color with and to use different brushes. I can very easily build out the kind of concept that I'm thinking of, and it's reasonably close to the same type of use as pen and paper. Now, when I first got my iPad, I tried to put every single thing in the iPad. I tried to do all of my note keeping. I tried to write all of my tasks down, but ultimately it became a little convoluted. And the problem is I found the more features you add to one specific product, the less effectively they do each one. So in the case of my iPad, I started using it for task management, and then social media seeped into it, and book reading seeped into it, and I just lost track of the entire reason I had it altogether, which is why I brought back the bullet journals for the pencil and paper, because now these have a very specific task. This has a very specific task, and I don't have to figure out which one to use when I need to switch between something. It's very easy. I pick the physical option, I use it, and then I move on to the next one. Now, ultimately, each of these does have a weakness, and that's that they're physical and they're not always on me. So in tandem, I also use the Apple Notes app, and I have everything synced between days. So I create a new note and I say, let's say the day is 4/27, and then I post a couple of different bullet points of things that I need to remember. Now here's the most significant thing. I don't have a mandate out that says I need to keep these things synchronized together. My bullet journal isn't always up to date with what's on my phone, and my phone isn't always up to date with what's on my bullet journal. And my iPad is still out there in nowhere land. I haven't really found a way that I'm happy backing that up yet and saving that content. Essentially, my organizational system isn't perfect, but it works for me, especially right now. The bullet journal can handle extremely detailed lists, and it can handle extremely vague lists. The Notes app on my phone allows me to put something down no matter where I am, and whenever I sketch, I pull out my iPad. Because of that, I found I doodle a little bit less often, which I'm not super happy about. I'm trying to figure out some way to sketch regularly without having to feel like I have to get the iPad out and make sure my batteries are charged. I'm sure there's something that I can refine there. But this system has been working for me for over half a year now, and I'm pretty happy with it. One of the other things that I use is a tool called Notion, and I mostly use it for two specific reasons. One, to save links that I find online. I can share it with the Notion extension, or just click a little addition that I have to Google Chrome, and it will save the link in a little list of all the links that I've saved. On top of that, I use the Kanban feature, which is a format of essentially little cards, something like Trello. It's very easy to put down data into segments and then move it between those segments, or fill in some additional data. The thing I like about Notion is that it's very fully featured in each of those Kanban boards, so I'm able to add images and I'm able to add tables and different pages. It's a great way for me to start going in depth when I want to go in depth. So again, with that pendulum, I can keep it simple or I can keep it extremely complex. Again, the goal is to be somewhere in the center. One of the things I set up over this past week was to create a public-facing Notion page. This is something that you are able to go and visit, and you're able to see all of the different projects that I have planned to work on. This is a little unnerving for me. I normally don't reveal so many of my ideas all at once. Not that I'm worried about someone stealing my idea. I don't care about that at all. It's more my concern for, am I able to follow through on these things? Am I able to actually put one foot in front of the other? What if a better idea comes up? What do I do? But the reason I'm doing it is so that I can be held accountable. If you see the projects that I'm working on and the ideas I have, you say, wow, that's really cool, and you keep asking me about it, that's something that will drive me to progress farther with each of those projects. And on top of that, if you have any ideas or suggestions, it's a great way to, send me an email or post a comment and say, hey, Jaron, I saw this. What do you think about this? Or have you considered this option? Or maybe here's a resource that you haven't picked up on. That, to me, is very exciting. It's a great way, I think, to start conversations, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. With all of that being said, I'm actually very curious about what your organizational strategies are. Do you have a specific one? Is it a notes list? Is it something like a bullet journal? Or do you have something completely different that I didn't even mention? Regardless of what it is, I'd love to hear more about it in the comments below. I will be hanging out in the comments, I always do, so if you do post something, expect a response. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something new. I hope I can learn something from you. and I will see you again very soon. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon. That way you'll be up to date with every single time I post a video. I aim for every single Monday, and I also have email letters that I send out every single Tuesday with a bunch of exclusive information. I also have a Patreon, so if you'd like to support more of my work, that's the place to go. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week.